A woman named Sherry Hamby of the Life Path Appalachian Research Center in Monteagle, Tennessee, recruited 2,565 participants from the Appalachian region of 3 states in the U.S. from the ages of 12 to 30 participated in a random study. When completed, it was discovered that 98% of those participants reported at least one form of adversity in their lives. Many reported multiple traumatic experiences. Despite adversity, many people overcome traumatic experiences by going through them. Many people become stronger when they experience challenging situations. My argument is that implementing resiliency in the classroom will better equip our youth to prepare for the world and the challenges that life throws at us or them. Youth empowerment is a powerful tool to help them succeed. I was a child who lacked confidence when challenged to succeed. I was a high school dropout who lacked stamina and struggled to follow through with what was presented to me. I never heard that failing was a part of learning growing up. Today, I work with kids in a counseling agency. My focus is to build them up, model for them, teach them coping skills, and encourage them to problem solve. I see growth in the youth by living the principles of a positive lifestyle and a determined mindset. Today, I plan to explain how many of our youth are resilient but may lack the necessary tools to implement them in their lives and what the benefits are by doing so. I will first explain what resiliency is and why it is important to our youth. Second, I will explain how students live lives outside of school affect students academically. I'm not talking about kids who have been affected just by trauma of bad things happening, but also simple things like failing a test. Third, I will talk about how implementing a pro-social classroom reduces stress for not only the students, but for the teachers. Now that I've introduced my topic, I will be informing you what resiliency is and why it is beneficial to our youth and implementing it into our school system. Resiliency, by definition, is the ability to bounce back from an adverse event in one's life. A few examples of these sorts of events are tragedies, health concerns, relationships, home or school problems, and how we adapt to those events. We all have resiliency. Some people are just more resilient than others. It can be learned. A popular model used in a lot of our schools is called the George Mason's University Resilience Model. This particular model was developed by Mason's Resilience Working Group as a subset of individuals from a larger George Mason learning community. It's actually this community resilience lab overview. They have like a whole class on it about community resilience. I thought that was kind of interesting. There's a lot on it, but and they talk about the elements: community focus, knowledge sharing, innovative economics platform integration, research and teaching, just social resilience, economic development. There's just a whole, it was a whole chapter on it. And then this here is the model's main components of resiliency. So here's resilience, and then this is the meaning in life, positive emotions, another component, social support, coping, and physical well-being. So that's the model. As we adapt to our surroundings, we become accustomed to what we are exposed to. Resilience is critical to a human's happiness and success. Support in the classroom builds a safe environment, helps build trust in our youth. Resilience in the classroom will make our youth stronger. They will achieve more as well after they graduate, even when under diverse conditions. Research has demonstrated a correlation between teachers' psychosocial characteristics and critical elements of the pro-social model. That model is known as CEC, social emotional competency. This model recognizes that teachers are also affected by the school as well as the community context. Many teachers experience burnout during teaching due to years of butting heads with youth to excel, and that kind of goes back to that community resilience lab overview of the components. It starts with the classroom, it starts with the teachers, so that's kind of where that comes in. How do we make these these changes, you might ask, how do we make this happen? It starts with teachers, as I just said. We can do this by implementing this model into the teaching curriculum. Studies have shown that supportive teachers, student relationships play an important role in feeling connected to school and both their academic and social emotional outcomes. There are 5 components. I've already just went over that. So, yes, that just as I just said, meaning in life, the positive emotion, social support, coping, and physical well-being. So, my first point, implementing the skill building help the teacher as well as the student to become aware of person's strengths. That's huge. Knowing what our strengths are, knowing what our weaknesses are. What do we need to work on? Something that I have learned in my journey is that my greatest strengths are also my greatest weaknesses. So, what I'm good at, like, it can tear me down, and so I have to constantly work on those things. So, knowing my strengths change. They bounce back and forth. One day is a strength, the next day is a weakness. So, just gotta kind of always be aware of what's going on. Knowing our strengths helps with vitality and motivation. We gain a clear sense of direction, helping to boost confidence and promote individuality and a higher probability of goal attainment. One example of this method is when confronted with a problem, many people take this as an attack on themselves, like a roadblock. They call this mentality the victim role. It is common for people to feel criticized when confronted with a problem. This type of mindset sets people up for failure. This kind of view is called hindrance perspective. What we want to encourage is challenge perspective. When we can view the problem as an opportunity to grow and improve ourselves, this mentality we call the victor mentality. This is what we want. Simply put, there are 2 ways to look at things when presented with a problem. One looks at the situation as it happened to them, and the other looks at it as it happened for them. The victor mentality encourages growth to pursue. It creates a positive feedback cycle by boosting resilience. According to the research published by the American Psychological Association in 2015, cited that monitoring goal progress is crucial in ensuring that your goals turn into action. Goal tracking is a good way to monitor progress. If we can focus on the progress rather than the goal itself, we're more likely to fulfill our goal and we will get much more out of it. In closing, implementing resilience in the classroom will create a more positive, proactive environment for the teachers as well as the students. It will also help students who experience adversity as well as students who do not attain skills that will help them to have a better idea of who they are and to live a more positive lifestyle that will turn our society as a whole stronger. Teaching skills to build resilience is a powerful tool to help prepare our youth for the trials they will experience in life. Not all students display resilient qualities. There are individuals who don't experience diversity and youth who lack the skills to be due to living environment. School system will be proactive. It builds strengths such as coping skills, problem solving, promote social success. I work with teens outside of the school system. We implement resiliency in our sessions using motivational interviewing and problem solving, self-esteem building. We set achievable goals. We also encourage them to live a proactive lifestyle. Based on my experience, I'm confident that this would be a positive experience for many in schools for our youth.